Rudolph the wrestling tag team, together for no reason. But if you squint real tightly, you would even say it's Rick Rude and Mr. Perfect, even though it isn't. All of the creative numpties told the pair we got nothing. So they've been put together. Something. Are we supposed to buy this? Then one humid summer's eve, Vincey came to say, Rudolph, with your tits so bright, won't you shag my tag teams tonight? And so this is how we find ourselves with Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode going after the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships. It's a Christmas miracle, damn it! WTF! Dear God, I'm going to stop doing that. I am Ross Twiddell from Cultaholic.com, your Cultaholic heavyweight champion. You are a sexual wank pheasant, and welcome to all the WTF moments from last night's episode of WWE Raw, an episode that I thought was a little bit meh. But it wasn't all meh, of course, because we had a fantastic match from none other than big baldy bastard Baron Corbin himself. We had a monumental heel turn that nobody, I don't care what you say at home, you didn't see it coming. And finally, we had my illegitimate long-lost brother feeding dollar bills to the devil, Vince McMahon. That is something that happened, and that is something that is fantastic and a joy to behold. Here are all the moments of a WTF variety. So we kick things off with Seth Rollins, who's like, it's Clash of Champions. I've got one intention. I'm gonna walk in as a double champ, burn it down, and walk out a double champ. So that's three things in it, Seth. And if anybody from the Spectrum Center in North Carolina is watching this video right now, please call the fire brigade, please call the police force, because there was somebody on last night's episode of Raw threatening to burn down your building, and it needs to be stopped. Now, I know I shouldn't really be making this a WTF moment, because it's one of those stupid things that WWE makes one of their normal things, even though it's a really stupid thing. But of course, Braun Strowman claims that he is a monster among all of the men, yet just like all of the men, he is frozen into a human statue when another WWE superstar music hits. He really isn't a monster, is he? He's just a normal man. Now, as we all saw on last night's Raw, Braun did not sign that contract, which means that Universal Championship match, that proposed one at least, at Clash of Champions, is not official, even though Braun could have easily signed that thing, because music does not stop people doing something they're already halfway through doing. In normal life, at least. Why doesn't it do that with WWE superstars? Now, there was a person who went to last night's Raw who took a sign to the show with them that read, I like cheese. Which I guess in one way is a WTF moment, because a living human being took a bit of paper to a wrestling show that read, I like cheese. But on the other hand, it's very in keeping with most of the stuff WWE produce these days, because Jesus Christ almighty, do they like the cheesy content or what? Just like me on these videos. But that's besides the point. WWE, you are cheese, I am not cheese. Now, did anybody else find it amazing that WWE had a supposed heel called Alan James Cuthbert style shout the following, shut up Michael Cole, or I will slap your teeth down your throat, in a move that they presumably thought would have had AJ Styles booed. It got the biggest cheer of the pissing night, man. What were you expecting to happen? Oh, I know what's a great idea. I'll walk out into the streets here in sunny Newcastle upon Tyne. I will see the first innocent baby I see with my own eyes, and I'll kick it right in the face and expect you to love me for it. I mean, I won't actually do that, but what I've just said there is just as sound logic as the logic WWE applied right there. In a nutshell, WWE, if you didn't realise it by now, nobody likes Michael Cole. Everybody wants to see Michael Cole eat his own teeth via the boot of Alan James Cuthbert Styles, and while at it, have him eat his own head so he can't speak anymore. Now then, we get to the moment where we prove that old Stone Cold's been having one too many of those old Steve Wises, because he claimed that Michael Cole is a hell of an announcer. One word, Steve. What? So hang on a second there, WWE, to build up this tag team that nobody is buying. 2 weeks before this tag team that nobody is buying is set to face Braun Strowman, a big sweaty man, and Seth Rollins, a slightly smaller man, but a man who WWE are behind all the same, you have them go to a competitive match with Curt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. Now you can call Ryder and Hawkins former Raw Tag Team Champions till you go blue in the bollocks, quite frankly, but let's face it, in the kayfabe sense at the very least, Zack Ryder and Curt Hawkins are a massive piss and joke. We've seen it play out with our very own eyes over the past few years, man. Zack Ryder, he's only been allowed to win 2 matches in the last 7 pissing years because he dared to get popular off his own back, and how dare he do that? And of course with Curt Hawkins, he has lost more than anything has ever lost before. WWE, you can take Gallows and Anderson, you can take the Viking War Raiders experience, whatever the hell they're called, put them to one side, but for the rest of the Raw Tag Team division, you killed them dead last week by having a non-tag team beat those bona fide tag teams in a tag team turmoil match. It's too late, man, they're gone. It's time to say goodbye. And next up we have the moment where Natalya was getting natty chance, which might just be the biggest WTF moment since the last time I claimed that something was the biggest WTF moment ever. 2 words. I guess 4 now, but please run. The end is nigh, the end is nigh, time to run away, the end is nigh. Made a grave mistake, Corey. Here's a direct quote from Corey Graves from last night's Raw when he claimed that Lacey Evans improves each and every time she steps between the ropes. Now, Corey, I know fine well it's your job to make these superstars look better than they actually are, but you cannot be sacrificing your integrity like this, man. The women's division openly take the piss right out of Lacey Evans when they're in the ring with her. On last week's SmackDown Live, we have Bayley calling the spots like this, and then of course we have Becky Lynch being visibly angry when Lacey would do a whoopsie.
What she say? Say, shut up, Renee. What she say? Say, shut up, Renee.
And this time is a direct quote from Renee Young, who was speaking about poor old Lacey Evans when she said she doesn't have a single friend around here. You kidding me? Now you can say a lot of negative things about Lacey Evans, but saying she's got no pals, Renee, that is not one of them. She is best friends with the sexiest man alive, a man who has all the women swooning over his massive big baldy scalp. In fact, because of the tattoos and completely unfounded internet rumours, I think I'm standing here thinking about big bully bastard Baron Corbin, and I'm actually getting aroused about that genetic jackhammer. Lacey's pals with big baldy bastard Baron Corbin, Renee, and also Liv Morgan. I like Lacey and Liv's Instagram bants. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. And next up we have the moment where Corey Graves said that he is shocked and surprised that it took this long for Lacey Evans to target the already injured arm of Natalya. I mean, Corey, we didn't see or we didn't hear Natalya shouting right into Lacey Evans' face. How Lacey attacked this bit right here, kicked the arm very, very hard indeed. So of course she took her time. She cannot do things on her own. Becky and Bayley, they've proved that. I know everybody, I'm being way too harsh on Lacey Evans. It's not her fault. The WWE put her in such a prominent position before she was pissing ready. Vince, just because you're here, you're not ready in a theme song doesn't mean you have to apply it to the superstar whose theme song that actually is. Does somebody want to tell Sasha Banks that Becky Lynch was already really popular before Nia Jax decided to smash her bloody face in? Now, as I say just about every single pissing week here on WTF Moments, I'm all for heels in WWE being delusional liars. I'm not about heels in WWE like Sasha Banks last night looking like numpties who just don't watch WWE TV. She's not Brock Lesnar, man. Tee-hee. Hello, Chris? Yes, it's Ross. Does big baldy bastard Baron Corbin suck it? Does big baldy bastard Baron Corbin suck it? Does big baldy bastard Baron Corbin suck it? He does? What's it about then? Big baldy bastard Baron Corbin, you dirty bugger. Just in case you at home were wondering what it actually is, I cannot repeat what it actually is because YouTube will demonetize this video. I cannot wait for Renee to get exiled, said Corey Graves mere moments after big baldy bastard Baron Corbin claimed, I am going to exile all of the stupid people who claim I'm not very good. Renee then replies to Corey, and I quote, me too. which means one thing, boys and girls. Renee Young is going to 5-star wrestling. So this time we have big baldy bastard Baron Corbin doing a delightful deep six with a pirouette that Darcy Bussell would have been proud of. Yet despite hitting a deep six, Michael Cole shouts, "Oh, Corbin, face first!" That's despite the fact nobody in the ring whatsoever went face first into anything. Lay off the LSD, Maggle. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, something has been gripping the WWE Universe over recent weeks. Who has been trying to end Roman Reigns, the big dog? Last week on SmackDown Live, we found out apparently. No, we didn't. Michael Cole, I have no idea what SmackDown Live you were watching last week, but the SmackDown Live we saw Roman Reigns showed grainy footage that didn't prove anything whatsoever. To be honest with you, I can't be asked to go into all of that now. I covered all of that segment on last week's WTF Moments for SmackDown Live. If you want to hear more about the end to last night's SmackDown Live being picked apart by a fat Geordie man, then go and watch that video. Ricochet uses his forward momentum to take Joe down, said Michael Cole, even though Ricochet did a moonsault and therefore surely was having all the backwards motion or something. So next up we have the moment where referee John Cone counted Ricochet and Samoa Joe's shoulders to the mat at the same time, therefore draw. But even though it was clearly a draw, John Cone needed to speak to somebody in the back because WWE, they use VAR now or something. So down he went to the timekeeper's area to ask for the headset, and that numpty there started asking, "Can I have a headset please?" Even though, as you can all see there, he's got a massive blooming headset right on his tet, which is French for head. Now I have no idea what it's like to be wearing glasses, then to put those glasses on top of your head and forget those glasses are there before asking, "Where the hell are my glasses?" But surely that logic cannot apply to a massive pair of pissing headphones like them. Those voices, where are they coming from? That man must be saying to himself, "Where do you think they're coming from, man? You're not Randall Keith." But also, who the hell was John Cone speaking to when he was saying to Ricochet and Samoa Joe, "We'll make a ruling"? Who is running Raw in August of 2019? Let me know in the comments below. And I know it's the McMahons and Heyman, but which ones? Or maybe somebody different? Who knows? So many questions. A John Moxley reference on WWE Raw in August of 2019 as Seth Rollins says to Braun Strowman, "I know what it's like to be stabbed in the back by my best friend." And there I was thinking when somebody left WWE, especially to go to a rival promotion, I thought they died in Vince McMahon's eyes. Until of course 20 years passes, nostalgia seeps through the scalp of Vince McMahon, and Vince says to the person who left his company 20 long years ago, "Yes, damn it, come back and dominate the cocks and the sun-eyes on today's roster." Now there is my illegitimate long-lost brother Bray Wyatt feeding dollar bills to the devil, Vince McMahon. Nothing more needs to be said here. And then we have Michael Cole describing the Firefly Fun House as one of the most controversial things in recent WWE history. That's not the word you're looking for, Michael. The words that you like to say way too often when they don't apply, but they actually do apply here, is awesome! Yeah, really cool! Like a Triple H entrance before you open your mouth at WrestleMania. Back to Michael Cole we go once again, and this time he says at Clash of Champions, The Miz is hoping to have a record-tying 9th reign as Intercontinental Champion in the WWF. A Chris Jericho reference on Raw in August of 2019. Clutching at straws? Yeah, I am. Made a grave mistake, Corey. Get this right, boys and girls. Corey Graves called that thing there a Women's Championship Summit, even though everybody, even non-wrestling fans, know that that thing there, as it says, just about here. I feel like I'm presenting the weather. That thing there says championship. What does it even say? Women's Championship Showcase, because obviously that couldn't be more than a Women's Championship Showcase than it is there. What does any of that mean? Why does it matter? I cannot wait to go on holiday next week. And then we get to the big heel turn, which has to be a WTF moment on not one, not two, but 3 levels. First of all, Bayley actually turning heel. That's a WTF moment. Second of all, the timing. Bayley was taking on all comers. She was flying as the SmackDown Live Women's Champion. Normally, when people turn heel, it's because they snapped and things need to change, but things were working for Bayley, so why change now? And thirdly, and probably most importantly of all, early on Raw, Bayley said that she was never going to be overshadowed by anybody ever again before she turned heel to join Sasha Banks, become Sasha Banks' little pal, a sidekick, and be overshadowed by Sasha Banks, because she obviously will, because Sasha Banks is facing Becky Lynch and Bayley is not facing Becky Lynch. Unless, of course, something else happens, and I shouldn't really be saying the things I'm saying now because I haven't let it play out, but of course that is the life of a professional wrestling fan. But it does feel like after Bayley said, no, I am not going to be overshadowed, is now going to be overshadowed by a big blue heel. But I tell you what, I hope those two there win all of the women's titles in WWE, because that's a visual I want to see, and because that's a visual I think those two can live up to. So let's see where they go, shall we? And finally, let's show that the badass man, Becky Lynch, trusts people way too much. I've nicked this straight from Reddit, so credit goes to whoever put that on Reddit. I forgot to write the source down. Paige turned on her in 2015, ending PCB. Charlotte in early 2016, setting up a Royal Rumble match. Natalya in 2017. Nia Jax, of course, Becky trusted her too much with being a real-life professional wrestler. And then finally, Ronda Rousey before Bayley on last night's Raw. Becky, stop trusting people. Unless it's Seth Rollins. And that is it for your WTF moments from last night's Raw. I've been Ross Twiddell from Cultaholic.com. You're a sexual wank pheasant. Last night's Raw was pretty much meh, apart from the good things I mentioned at the start of this video. I'll say this now, but next week I'm away. There'll be no WTF moments. I'll say it tomorrow as well, just in case. But you know, some people don't watch SmackDown, some people don't watch Raw. So we'll just say, we'll just say everywhere. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments below. You can follow us on Twitter at Cultaholic. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. And if you enjoy what we do here at Cultaholic, you can play us to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Cultaholic. Hit subscribe and join us.